and welcome back to DIY renovations and interior design with me, Meg Coates. Today I wanted to talk to you about how I managed to buy my first property at the age of 24. Me and my boyfriend been together since we were about 17 on and off, and yeah, so I think we were pretty ready we kind of knew that we wanted to move in together at that age. So obviously just wanted to lay that out there. Like, I didn't do it by myself, I did do it with my partner, but I was going to buy a flat on my own just before we decided to get back together. And I want to show you how I did that and how I was ready to buy my first flat at the age of 23. Okay, so the first way I did this is, I don't come from a family with any money. I pretty much have always been a bit obsessed with money, I think, because I knew that I didn't have that sort of safety net. I've always been really savvy with money and always trying to save money where I can. And I used to be that kid counting my coins at home like a weirdo. Anyway, so when it came to going to university, obviously if you're over the age of like 18, this doesn't really apply to you, but you know, just so you can see how I did it. I decided to go to university. I, however, decided to go to university in my hometown, which was Cardiff, and stay at home with my mum and dad. Now, anything that I got in terms of loan, grants, because I know in Wales we had quite a few nice grants available to us. So any of that, it would come into my bank account and I would put it straight into my ISA. And you're probably thinking, that sounds boring. But I also had a part-time job at Marks and Spencer's, which I used to love. And I used to be the wine hero, and I used to get a free bottle of wine every Sunday, which was an added bonus. But that's how I did it. That is literally it. I decided to stay at home and go to university, and like these days with the pandemic, I guess you could go to any university you want and study from home, I'm not sure. But even so, there's like the Open University and things like that. Obviously you might be thinking, what about the nightlife and stuff? But I made so many friends in uni, and quite a few of my friends stayed in Cardiff and got their own flats. And I was able to just pre-drink over theirs, go out over there. I still had an amazing time at uni in terms of drinking, not so much in terms of studying, because I'm not very good at anything like that. But yeah, so that is where I got the bulk of my money. Was I saved any of my grants and loans from student finance and put it aside. So, and obviously I worked at Marks and Spencer's. I still managed to have a really good, you know, drinking life. I went on a few holidays while I was a student. I wasn't doing too bad. In fact, I'm thinking like, I was in a better financial situation then than I am now. But yeah, so that's kind of like the main bulk of that. But then I had £15,000 when I came out of uni. And that was including money that I'd spent to go and travel America for 4 months. So again, like I still managed to do a decent amount, because I stayed at home when I went to university. Like, I know it's not ideal if you've got a university you want to go to, or just don't go at all because it's a waste of time. But that's what I did. So I think even if you didn't go to uni, and in those 3 years that I was in uni, you could have worked in Lidl's and probably still saved around the same amount. If you were, obviously, I was in a very, very lucky position that I could stay at home with my mum and dad for like a small amount of like £80 a month rent, which is pretty darn good. So that was kind of like how I saved my money. Now that's not the full picture, because even though I had 15 grand coming out of uni, I felt like super rich. Obviously you need to get a job to be able to buy a house. So I was probably earning like I was on 24,000 when we bought the house. And then I was quickly raised onto 27,000. And again, I was only like 23, 24. I've always been really like ambitious and obsessed with money, so you know. And this was in Cardiff as well. So the salaries are obviously less than London or anywhere. And yeah, so when you want to take out a mortgage, you can only borrow at the moment 4.5 times your salary. Sorry, 4.5 times 24,000 is 108,000, I think. So I could borrow that much. So I could pop the 15 grand on top of that and borrow 108. I'd need because I only had 15,000, the maximum I could probably get a property for was 150, because I needed 10% deposit. And that doesn't really seem like a lot. I couldn't really get much back then, so I was looking at a flat in Newport. And I nearly bought this flat in Newport, but I decided, actually, I'm not sure if that area is for me, so I'll just hang fire for now. So that's what I did. And then me and my boyfriend decided a little later on we were going to buy together, and we bought a brand new build in a urban area in Cardiff, somewhere that we knew was going to be up and coming. It was like the type of area that was right next to somewhere really expensive, and it was having that ripple effect over. So we kind of decided, even though we didn't really know this area very well, wasn't really like, I think like I wouldn't have picked to live there, but because the new build site was there, that's where we were going to go, and we used a thing called Help to Buy. I'm pretty sure they're still doing Help to Buy, but it is, if you're trying to get on the ladder, Help to Buy is really, really good. There are some restrictions within Help to Buy. I will do a separate video on Help to Buy and how we got out of it and how it benefited us, but how they really benefited off us as well. So Help to Buy scheme meant that we put in 5%, they put in 20%, and then we get a mortgage for the remaining balance. So at the time we got a house worth 225. Our deposit was 12,500, and we only needed to put in half of that each. So, you know, my 15 grand really is going a lot further. I couldn't have got that house on my own because of the salary increase. I needed 5 times my salary, 4.5 times the salary, which that wouldn't have made up of. So you can see how that was really affordable for us at the age of 23, because we put a deposit down at 23, moved in by the time we were both 24 because it was a new build. And it really, really did serve us well while we were there. It meant that anything going wrong with the house, I think if you're young, you're used to renting or you're used to living with mum and dad, getting a new build can be amazing, because even when you move in, everything's brand new. You don't have to think about renovations or anything like that, but I will do a video on why renovations are amazing in another video. But it really benefited us because we could save more money because our mortgage was less because we'd taken out a loan with Help to Buy. I think our payments per month were something like £529. Like, it was pennies because of that 20% loan from Help to Buy. You don't have to pay it back until you sell. So we didn't, well, sorry, I'll rephrase it. You don't have to pay it back or start paying it back until 5 years. And even then it's just the interest. You don't have to actually pay the actual loan back. So that was us. 529, both 23, 24, outgoings minimal because of the Help to Buy scheme, deposit minimal because of the Help to Buy scheme, and money in our bank not too bad because we didn't have to use as much as we thought. You know, we bought like cheap furniture, hand-me-downs, and really just got in that way. I think even if you're trying to budget and you're thinking, oh, can I really afford to get on the ladder and then furnish everything, try and get that house as soon as you possibly can, because the market is going a bit crazy because of the fact that the UK, there's like this thing called green belt, I think. I'll have to double check my facts. But anyway, there's a lot of land in the UK that you literally can't build on. And the population is just increasing. So that means demand for housing is just forever growing. So you need to just think, can I afford to just get a house at the moment? If you can, or a flat, then I would definitely do it sooner rather than later, because wages tend to not rise as high as house prices do. So you might be finding yourself in even more of a trickier position to try and buy the longer you wait. I find that it's mad how much house prices have gone up since we bought ours. We sold the first new build property for 260. We probably could have got more, but we were in a massive rush because we did not want to lose this bungalow. And yeah, that's pretty much it really. That is how I managed to save for a deposit by the age of 24. That might not help some people who are over the age of 18. I think I would, we then bought this bungalow and I had to save money for that. So I will do another video on saving and how to do it and where you're putting your money. Like, is it just sat in a bank account? Because 0.00001% or whatever they give you isn't gonna help at all. So I think there's a lot of things on the market, like so I've got money in the FTSE 100, I've got money in a lifetime ISA, I've got money on cryptocurrency. It's not a lot, but it's growing. I think I think there's a guy called Jamie York. You know, he says that time in the market is better than timing the market. So even if you put some money in now and you don't really know what you're doing, guaranteed when you look in 10 years, you'll be like, it's doubled, or something similar. But when it's in your bank account, not really helping you. So I will do another video on that. I think I've rambled a bit too long on this, but that is how I managed to buy my first home at the age of 23, 24. And that was by not moving away for uni. And if I could go back, I would never have gone to uni, never. And then I went and did a master's. What was I thinking? But because those 3 years, you could get ahead of all your friends and loads of people you know by starting your own business in those 3 years. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you like this video. If you didn't subscribe earlier in the video, please could you like and subscribe, or at least just comment down below saying you've watched this far, and I will see you in the next video.